Well hey, it's Pop RPG, and during this period of desperation, trial, and despair, I have come across some pretty rare and interesting footage of early builds of Saints Row 1, Saints Row 2, and Saints Row the 3rd. So without further ado, let's take a look at these historic gems in the Museum of RPG. In the first clip, Greg Donovan introduces some gameplay of Saints Row 1 in its Stage 5 state. As we jump into the gameplay, you can see a very rundown Stillwater, a very laggy frame rate, and a cool drive-by sequence being shown off. This is still when the Saints were rocking green rather than purple. It looks like the player was fighting off some early concepts of the Vice Kings, causing some mayhem throughout the city. If you're a Saints Row nerd like myself, seeing footage like this is awesome. It gives me countless hours of staring at my screen as if I don't do that enough. The explosions, well, the explosions look... yeah. Anyways, moving on to some Saints Row 2 goodness. We can see how it shows off the evolution of Stillwater from its predecessor SR1, showing off the different new varied districts like the disaster areas and the underground. Not only that, but it shows how customization of the character has improved. Your upgradable cribs, recruiting homies when you please, and it even gives you the impression that you can change the gang color. Although you can't, that is an interesting concept. This was when flying was first introduced to the world, along with motorcycles and boats. If you look at the improved combat, you can even see that there was some kind of grapple mechanic when fighting, which was obviously taken out from the final game. There was an activity called Turf Wars, which I'm assuming would work similar to gang takeovers. They showed off some early footage of streaking in an activity where you run around on fire trying to ignite people. There's even an activity called Happy Fun Ball where it looks like you man a wrecking ball and destroy as much as possible. After that, it shows off the enemy gangs and their original names. The Ronin were called the Ronin, the Brotherhood were the Brotherhood, and the Sons of Samdi were the leaders of progression. This gives you some cool insight on the development of SR2, and you can see the clips are still using the old SR1 engine. 2008, a simpler time. The only thing you had to worry about was camping out for that 2-year-old Nintendo Wii you always wanted. But no, we can't get it. Fucking motherfucker. But I want the fucking Nintendo Wii, Mom.
No, son. You can't have it. You can't handle it.
Whore. Now it's time for arguably the most interesting portion of the video, where they show off Saints Row the 3rd, which was originally called Saints Row 3. They start by showing off some of the new maps, Steelport, and some of the interiors of the world. The next portion of the video is very interesting to me, and I'm gonna let you have a listen before we discuss it further.
Listen, Julius, you've made some bad choices, but you're a good man. Let me help you out.
What do you want?
I want this...
As you can see, this is not the Saints Row 3 we got at all. In fact, this looks much more intriguing than what we actually got. He opens his phone and we see the normal options, but we can also see an Empire mode. Wonder what that could be. He goes to his available missions where he can choose to call Samson or Julius and starts up the Julius mission, which then triggers what sounds to be like the hidden tape conversation by Troy and Julius from SR2. Now, I don't know if this was just a placeholder material or not, but it's interesting to see Julius and Troy inside of Saints Row 3 before it eventually became Saints Row the 3rd. The last little bit of interesting information would have to be the original cover for Saints Row 4, showing that it was originally supposed to be based off Enter the Dominatrix, but then eventually became its own separate sequel. Anyways, I wanted to share this content with you guys because I feel like you would really appreciate this juicy Saints Row goodness like I have. We are in a bit of a stalemate in terms of Saints Row content as of late, so I'm doing my very best to keep posting and not just be posting pointless filler videos. Until next time, this has been your friendly neighborhood daddy RPG saying check out saintsrowunderground.com and peace out.